Hey, 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 goodness to you. It's Sporty King. And I always say goodness because I don't know whether you're watching morning, afternoon, or evening. But isn't it great to have good in front of your salutation? Welcome to Gift Friday. I created it because so often we hear TGIF. Thank God it's Friday. But I say TGIT. Oops, I do say that, but I say, what a Lord does Friday have to the person who took their last breath on Thursday or any day before that for that matter? So I use what I've learned through Psalm 92 and 2. And that is, it is good to proclaim your unfailing love in the morning, your faithfulness in the evening. And that's why I actually use TGIT. And that is, thank God it's today. And then TGIT, thank God it's tonight, which then moves me to another one of my favorite scriptures, Matthew 6 and 34. And that is, so don't worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will bring its own worries. Thank God it's tonight. Today's trouble is enough for today. Thank God it's today. You see, you use them interchangeably because you're always thanking God for the evening and for the daytime. And I offer first another way of looking at TGIF, and that is trusting God is free. Trusting God is free. Just think about it. What does it cost you to receive the greatest gift of every day? The gift of waking up doesn't cost you a dime. So let's also look at the fact that let's look at TGIF and let's see that when we move the T from the beginning to the end, we find what we really want to give God thanks for, and that is today. TGIF. I mean, GIFT. Trusting God is free. Today is what we want to be celebrating at all times. And so, Gift Friday is my online sharing of one of my original poetic poems or poetic messages to help inspire people. In fact, to help you have a conversation to uplift someone, including yourself. Then, after I read it, what I do is I offer you to have yourself a colorful keepsake copy that you can download. Excuse me, I'll send to you. If you're on Facebook or LinkedIn and you're not on my mailing list, you just let me know and I'll send you a copy. If you're on YouTube or on my website, put your request in the comments, not in the thread, and I'll make sure that you get a copy. This week, I've chosen a poem from my book, A Poet in Every Prophet, a book that reminds and encourages any writer that their gift cannot be measured by public approval. You see, the words you put on paper are gifted to you from God as only you can express them. You may not be a prophet by the dictionary definition, yet there are times where your words foretell the future. So, above all things, consider each poem you write prophecy and consider it as a good poem. Don't say, do you think this is good? It is good because it came from you. For it is an expression through you for someone that you may never know. And in that vein, I've chosen the final poem in the book, which is called On Our Journey, We Are Not Alone. Now, here's how I introduce it in the book, because that what I do with my books, I try to, as often as possible, every few poems, I introduce the poem. So it gives you a better chance as the reader to understand where I was coming from with the poem. You know how in school, the teacher always gets to dissect the poem and say, yeah, well, this is what the poet was saying, and the teacher's right. And sometimes the student is right because they see something different in the poem. That's what some people don't like about poetry, by the way. They say, well, you know what? It's too subjective and I don't know what the poet was saying. I like for people to understand where I was coming from, what motivated me to write the poem. That way, if they get something out of it different than what the teacher got or anybody else got, they can say, oh, wow, I got it. And see, that's the key. Don't we want people to get it? So this is On Our Journey. We are not alone. And here's how I introduced it in the book. There are times where we think we're the only one going through something, or we even ask, why me? There are times where we become angry and decide to hate someone or something that they do to us. There are times where someone does something favorable for us and we don't take the time to express our appreciation. And there are times where neither of these categories applies to what's going on in our lives. Yet there are always times. And in time, we come to understand and appreciate all we've experienced in this gift called life. So remember, you deserve your gift. And on our journey, we are not alone. On our journey, we are not alone. We wave to family and loved ones and friends. No questions. They're different. And they can be all three. It depends. You see, our journey is dependent upon our vision. Oops, left that part out. Our journey is dependent upon our vision. That vision does not always focus so clear. So there are times where we shuffle people from one category to the next, times where we misunderstand intentions, and rather than wave, we ward off. Only later finding our blessing was never disguised. It was merely waiting for our heart to open up and to recognize that our sight does not always make us wise. Our journey at times can seem like an outpouring of calculated associations that seek to our lives and weaken our steps. Oh, if only we could fast forward and see the need to give thanks at the outpouring. For those of love will easily provide the stronger current. Relax your spirit and enjoy your journey. Understand the rainbow and the ups and downs. Know that you are immersed in your finest hours. You see, on our journey, we are not alone. If only we could dare to take the time to smell the flowers. Continue to enjoy and share your journey. If you'd like to enjoy and share your colorful keepsake copy of the poem, and you're not on my mailing list, remember, if you're on Facebook or LinkedIn, just say, Sporty, send me the poem. I've got your email address already. If you're not, then I want you to send your request to sporty@sportyking.com. If you're on YouTube or my website, you can drop that request in the comments. Meanwhile, I'm Sporty King, and I wish you a happy Gift Friday. Have a safe weekend, and remember that God is for today. Thank you. Over and out. Ciao.